Hello, welcome back to Hunter Tuned. Today we're going to be dyno tuning the old four-door sleeper single cam setup. He actually bought this car for me a while ago, and he changed the turbo kit on it a little bit, and we're going to get it retuned and make sure that this thing's all good to go. So when I had this car with my buddy, it had just like a regular cast log manifold on it and some diesel turbo. Had a 82 AR exhaust housing. This new turbo has like a 63 AR exhaust housing. It is quite a bit smaller turbo, but it does have a Blue Ridge Motorsports top mount manifold now and a up pipe instead of a full exhaust. So when this car was in here last, it made like 282 horsepower on like 16 to 18 pounds of boost. So hopefully we can at least make a little bit more than that. That's the goal. And hopefully have a little bit faster spooling setup. This is an eBay turbo, it looks like. It says M24 on it, and it's got a 5-bolt downpipe. The guy that the dude bought this from said he made 400 horsepower with it. I'm not sure if that's going to be true or not, but we're going to try and see if this eBay turbo will last. You guys know how these eBay turbos have been treating me lately, but we will see what we can do. The downpipe is actually quite small too. This up pipe, it looks to be like a 2.5 or maybe 2 1/4. I'm actually going to grab a tape measure and measure that quick. It's 2.5 inches outside diameter piping on here. So obviously a lot of these turbo cars, they like at least a 3-inch pipe, but hopefully nonetheless we'll be able to make power through it and do what we can. And as you guys see, I don't know if you can tell, but there's actually a bunch of rubber all over the shop now because we had A21 Bravo, his banana Fox body Mustang on the dyno yesterday, along with another road race Civic that I did. I didn't really film a lot of it. I did get maybe a clip or two of Ryan's car that I may throw in. And before that, the last couple days before that, I've been working nonstop on my 07 Civic Si, trying to get this thing tuned up with Honda Tuning Suite. Had a ton of issues with this thing, trying to work out the bugs with the Honda Tuning Suite software. Nonetheless, it is working, and I did do some dyno stuff with the car and picked up some power. Like I said, guys, I didn't really film it. I want to go over it once I get the bugs worked out of the software with Devin, and once I do, then I would kind of, feel a little bit more confident doing an update video on that. But I don't really want to, display the software and show you guys all the stuff with it until we get the bugs worked out of it. Hello. We got a banana on the dyno. So today I'm just helping Ryan out. He brought his Mustang down, and we're trying to get it dialed in a little bit better on the dyno. And we've already done a couple pulls off camera, and yeah, I'm just trying to help Ryan out and get this thing dialed in. Just working out some fuel changes right now on low boost. But anyways, to start off on this thing, we are going to be replacing the wideband sensor because the sensor is not registering in the car. It is bad. Grab a 7/8, we'll take out the old sensor and then we will install a new one. Oh my, this O2 bung is screwed. I can't even get the sensor out. Yeah, it is cross-threaded really bad. Well, I'm going to try to get the sensor out. And we may have to put the O2 in a different location because this one, the O2 bung is extremely stripped out. Alright guys, so we got the Honda tuning suite all tuning up now. I got the car tuned pretty well, cruising and into boost now. But we have done a few pulls with the car and it's making a lot of boost. Which is okay. We want to make a lot of power with this thing. But we got to make sure we have a handle on the boost to make sure that it's not going to go too crazy, because I believe this is an eBay turbo, and like I said, they're kind of hit and miss. This one was on a car that made a lot of power, so I feel like this is maybe an older version of the eBay turbo, and it seems to be doing very well on this boost level so far. I did open a data log here that I'll show you. I'll show you on the dyno too what it did for power. But this eBay turbo, let's see here. We are making 26 pounds of boost, and it just keeps going up and up and up and up. We are on 10 degrees of ignition timing, E85, and that was only 6,400 RPM. And the car's making like 320 something. Pull it up here. And the power is just climbing and climbing and climbing. Each pull I'm kind of getting a little bit farther with it. And hopefully just going to keep being able to rev this thing out where the cam, because this car has a Comp 59 500 camshaft in it, and it's just going to want to go to 75, 78, 8,000 RPM maybe. And if we can just carry this out a little bit farther, I mean, we'll be making the most power a single cam's ever made on my dyno, that's for sure. Right now, not even winding it out all the way, we are making 328 horsepower at that data log that I showed you there. So let's just keep going. This thing would probably benefit from a little bit bigger turbo. If we want to make that 400 number, I know that's kind of the goal for this car, but hopefully we can do it with what we got. The last pull also I got out of it because the spark plugs were breaking up just a little bit, so I pulled them out and gapped them down just a small amount more than where they were already at. I think we're at like 15 thousandths on the plug gap, and yeah, let's rip it. And it starts a lot lean on the air field, so get a couple gallons. I'm gonna keep going, but hang on, you want to see what it made back? Because they probably made more. I keep getting out of it because it's a little lean now, but I think it's running out of fuel. Yeah, it made come on, go down. 346. It's still going. Pray for the eBay turbo. This thing is steaming. Fucking gains, bro. Alright guys, so this little sleeper Honda Civic is making jam, let me tell you. This is the highest power single cam that's hit the dyno yet. It's not doing no breakup anymore, but that last pull where it made 346, it was starting to get a little lean. So the car is kind of low on gas right now, and I just told the guys to go get a couple gallons of E85 so we can just make sure it's got good and enough fuel in the tank, so we're not sucking air or anything like that through the lines. And I'm kind of working. I don't know what pump we have in this thing. It's been a long time since we put this thing together. A regulator would probably help this thing out to go a little bit farther too if the fuel doesn't help it. But I'm going to do my best, and hopefully we can just leave it on this boost level. And it's got no controller in it, no boost controller at all. But it's got this Rev 9 gate, and I don't think it's opening all the way, and that's why it's kind of just making a lot of boost. But, I mean, shit, I think we're going to be good. And Mr. eBay Special here is doing its job. I cannot believe this thing is still alive. But like I said, a lot of these eBay turbos are pretty hit and miss. And some of them from a long time ago, like 5-6 years ago, these turbos I feel like were built a lot better than they are now. So hopefully this thing holds up. I can't believe this thing is making good power like this. Also, another thing that I am noting is that the car is still climbing in power at like 7,200. Like, it doesn't look like it's leveling yet. It just looks like it's going to keep going. So we're gonna wind the car out the next pull here. I'm gonna set the limiter at like 8,200, and we're just gonna send it and see if the power levels off. If it does not level off by 8,000 or 8,200, I'm going to advance the cam gear a degree or two so we can get the power to level off a little sooner, because this car without an ATI fluid dampener on the crank pulley will probably rattle the bottom end a little bit, and I don't want that. I want to be able to at least have a good crank pulley on this thing if we're going to rev it past 8. But it does have Z6 crankshaft in it and a cam that just wants to keep going. So yeah, without further ado, guys, we're going to pick back up here in a second once I get the more fuel in the tank, and hopefully we can just keep going with this thing. This is awesome. It still wants to keep going, but it needs like an aftermarket fuel pressure regulator to keep going. You know what I mean? I figured it was being on gas, or the pump is just weak. It's just running out of fuel pressure. It's not the injector size, it's the pressure. So all that means is that high boost, it just can't. The fuel pressure's dropping. Yeah, we got to get a pump in it and a regulator. I could just, leave it here. Maybe we can set the limiter at like 7,000 for the time being, so you don't want to need. Yeah. But that's kind of where I'm at. I wish we could keep going because I want to, but because I know the motor will keep going. It's just.
So you think a pump and a fuel pressure regulator?
Yeah, I would get the Walbro 525 pump. Alright guys, so we are still working some of the bugs out here with this single cam. It sucks, but we are out of fuel at 350 wheel. I think it's just pump failure. This pump is like 5-6 years old, and I think it's a 255, like an older one, so I just told them go get the 525 Walbro, chuck it in there. We'll do a rewire on the pump to give it straight battery voltage, and then we'll put a regulator on it too to get it a little higher base pressure, and we'll be good to 450. But for the time being, we cannot rev this thing any higher than like 6,800 without it going lean. So that's just the truth, you know. It sucks, but he'll be back and we will make a lot more power. Yeah, I'm not running much timing on this thing. Single cam's just keeping the timing really low. Keeps from the cylinder head lifting off the block. So we're only running about 8 degrees of ignition timing at 27 pounds. It did lose a little bit of power pulling 2 degrees out of it. I had 10. I pulled 2 degrees out just to see how much it would really hurt this thing, and it lost like 6-7 horsepower. So it's not really gonna hurt too much, but I'm setting the limiter really low. It sucks, but got to keep it safe for the guy. Alrighty guys, so that's going to do it for this little single jammer. Hopefully this video was kind of cool. We got Ryan's on the dyno. I'm sure he's going to be putting up a video. Be sure to go check it out. And that single cammer is just out of fuel. We got to get a bigger pump in it and a regulator. That pump is like 5-6 years old and it sat with ethanol in it for a long time, so I'm sure it's a little weak. And it's probably not the high pressure version of the Wally, so I just told him get the big Wally and it'll all be good to go. But in other news, I did want to kind of just mention a few more things. I have some bigger injectors coming for my Civic, my purple coupe. So hopefully we'll get that on the dyno, making the most power we have on a Honda so far. That's my goal on that thing. I still have these Skunk 2 cams if anybody's interested. Skunk 2 Tuner 2s. I probably sell them for like $250. Let me know. And I wanted to ask you guys maybe your opinion on the dyno. This thing has been making some noise on just really slow rolling speed. It almost sounds like it's hitting the plates, the plates that surround the dyno. It sounds like it's doing that, but it did this a couple months ago, and I ended up greasing all the bearings, and I think it went away for a while, and now it's starting to come back a little bit, and it only happens at like really low roller speed. You can't actually hear it in the car when you're driving on it, right there. And it's only at like a certain part of the revolution of the roller. I don't know if that could be like maybe a bearing is going out, but I'm not sure. I don't know what else it would be. All the brakes and stuff, there's nothing touching. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really done any maintenance on this thing other than grease it. But this old girl's been getting a workout lately, and I want to keep it going as strong as possible. You can already see we're wearing out. The rust on the roller is pretty good. And I do have a bunch of chipped ECUs back in stock again, guys. I actually had a bunch of them chipped by Jason Waters. He is literally the best dude to solder and desolder and put chips and stuff in these computers. I know you guys probably can't see, but like the solder work on his ECUs is phenomenal, like out of this world, best I've ever seen. His solder work looks better than the factory stuff, like, or the same. You can't even tell that he solders these chips in. He does such a good job. And I have like, I don't know, 5 or 6 of them here for sale on the website. If you guys need any chipped ECUs or base map or whatever, I can do the chipped ECUs for $200, and they're all chipped P28 style computers. I don't really offer the non-VTEC ones at this time. And if you do need a base map from Honda Tuning Suite on the ECU, if you purchase one, you just have to order Honda Tuning Suite base map with the ECU, and then tell me your setup in the comments of the order. That will give me the data I need to be able to give your ECU, so you can just plug it in and go. And some people are saying that the pricing on these ECUs is a little high, but I will respectfully disagree with that, considering I can't even find these ECUs barely at all anymore. They're a lot tougher to find. They're not manufacturing these ECUs anymore, so you know, it's kind of just like digging diamonds out of the rough when you find a good virgin OBD1 Honda computer. And I did end up finding a couple of them, and I got them chipped so I can send them out to you guys, and you guys can have fun with your cars. So yeah, and then obviously we sell the widebands now. I have a couple of these in stock, the AEM X series widebands. And another cool thing too that I did not mention is I am now a Schaefer. I'm actually a Schaefer's dealer. I was stocking some Schaefer's oil, but I actually just sold my first couple quarts of Schaefer's. I can get anything from the whole Schaefer's line of oil. I can ship the stuff to you guys if need be, but the cost is definitely going to be a lot higher for me to ship the stuff. It's like $8 to $10 a quart without shipping, and then if you need it shipped, obviously it's going to be more than that even yet. So a lot of the shipping stuff can be done, but I think they don't like shipping orders unless they're over $350. So if you guys want to stock up on it, that'd be cool. That's all we run on all of our cars. And then I did also get some parts for the Mustang, my Fox body. I did get a bunch of Team Z parts in the mail the other day that I'll show you quick. I got the relocated uppers, and I got a set of double adjustable lowers as well. So we're going to be putting these guys on the car very soon. I have to get the rear end out of the car to do like some other things, and to just weld. I'm going to weld the tubes on the rear. A whole bunch of stuff coming. So thanks for watching, guys. I have a lot of stuff planned for the future here, and I really hope you subscribe and like this video and share it with all your friends. Comment down below what you thought, and we will see you later. Have a great night and a better tomorrow.